into Omniscient here, a new album. Talk a little bit about that. Where did how did it all formulate in your mind? Did it take a long time? Did you get inspiration from some piece of literature or many pieces of literature, or how did it all come about?
It's kind of weird. I mean, it's just like a lot of this story is kind of just like it's almost like philosophy essays like set in like an adventure story or something. You know, it's like kind of like I don't know, psychic or occult type, you know, influences or something to make the story happen. But I mean, a lot of it was just I was thinking about, you know, how things are about like a lot of situations, and that's what the lyrics kind of were developing into. And as that was happening, I was just kind of developing the thought of tying all the stuff in together into a story, and it kind of just happened, and I can't really say when everything happened, you know, how it happened. It was just kind of like it started evolving, and pretty soon it got to the point where it said, hey, I'm going to do a concept album, you know?
What was the timetable for it, though, like from inception to completion? Was it months? Was it years?
We started writing the album like in around 2008, and I think we finished the writing in 2010, and then we started recording it in 2011, and we finished the recording in 2013. And I didn't actually write the story, the concept story, and tie everything in until all the recording was done, and I think I did it either late 2013 or early 2014 is when I started hammering out the story and tying everything in.
That's quite a lengthy process then. For people that don't know what we're talking about, I guess we should back up for a second. So we're talking about Omniscient from Steel Prophet. Is the album out yet? Because obviously I've got to hear it, being lucky to work this way. Is it out in stores yet? Is it out online?
I believe it's available for digital download at the moment, but the official release is not until I think it's this Friday, July 4th. I think that's when you know I heard the CDs were already available for pre-order as of a week or two ago, and so I'm assuming that if you order it like today or Friday, you'll be able to get it right away.
Okay, very good. And for our readers that We Love Metal, if you haven't read my review of it, please do. It's the only 10 out of 10 that I've given on current material. And I love the story. If there was no music, the story is captivating. But the music itself, without the story, is fantastic too. And you put those two things together. And I like concept albums. I think it's a big risk to write that kind of thing. But boy, when it goes right, it's just magical. And you guys just absolutely nailed something special.
Thanks, man. I just read a review today where it said that it's worse than My Little Pony fan fiction. So we got a difference of opinion there.
I guess so. That's wow. Okay, I guess that keeps you humble, huh?
Yeah, that keeps me humble, man.
I guess so. Well, if we can get kind of into the nitty gritty for those people that have heard it. This will make some sense for people that haven't had a chance to consume it yet. Maybe this will prime them a little bit. But I think one of the themes that I came away with from Omniscient was we have a connection to the primal, a respect for the environment, and that human beings have chose to dominate nature instead of living kind of symbiotically with nature. Do you think that if that's true, can we go back as humans and do it right, or are we past a threshold where we're just on a path of destruction?
Yeah, I think that if it's important to people, they can do it. I think that there's ways to integrate nature into your life and still have technology be a part of it too. But it's kind of to the point where so many people are so disconnected from nature, or they admire nature but only from afar, and they don't actually experience it. If people continue like that, then it's so much easier to feel casual about destroying it because it doesn't really mean anything to you, and you don't think about the implications of what's going on. But it's like, from what I've heard, it's like if human beings cease to exist, the world would not only get better and heal itself quicker, it would be fine. It wouldn't be missed. But if you took away all the insects in the world, it would cease to exist in like 30 or 40 years, So it kind of tells you what's really important. There's such fragile links that are woven out there, and people need to be conscious of what they're doing to the environment.
Well said. How do you personally connect with nature? Do you have a certain ritual? I mean, I don't know, are you a surfer? Are you a backpacker? I mean, how do you get back to that primal connection where you're like, yes, this is really what it's about?
Yeah, I've been an avid backpacker for quite a number of years. I mean, even when I was a kid, I used to just love to go out into the forest and just explore and just sit in the forest and just feel that connection to the earth. I mean, when you're in the forest, it's like, people think, well, what are you going to do in the forest, man? It's boring. There's nothing to do, But they don't think of the fact that you're among thousands and thousands of living things. The trees are actually alive,
Right.
But people don't really look at plants as being interesting or alive or, providing anything to you, even though they provide you some of the most important things like oxygen, and
Yeah.
and they're really homes to all these animals and stuff, So it's if you go out in the woods, you're probably gonna start to feel good. And I've spent weeks out in the woods just by myself, hiking the Appalachian Trail, and I really recommend it for people because learning how to survive out in the woods by yourself is a real lesson in how to tackle life. You're down to the essentials. You have to take care of food, shelter, and water. And these are the only things that matter when you're out in the woods for a few weeks at a time on your own. Anything else is it's just unnecessary and trivial things, and it's really a good way to ground yourself and find out what's really important in life. And once you know what's really important, it's easier to add these other extras into your life and kind of stay grounded in it.
In the song When I Remake the World, is the narrator fighting that temptation of human domination that you were talking about a little bit ago?
When I Remake the World?
Yes.
Let's see, what's the question again?
To me, it seemed like the narrator is he's kind of fighting that temptation of humans to dominate. Like if I have a chance to do it, this is how I would do it. And like the power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely theme is present in that song. Yeah. That seems to me just a kind of like a mirror of the theme of the album. Is that did I get that right?
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. It's like, I mean the song. It's kind of like it's kind of like giving yourself the chance to just say, hey, what would I do if I was gonna, if I was in charge? Let's say I was God and I would make the world like a better place. What would I do? It's like, and a lot of people will say, well, that's kind of blasphemous, that you would like try to do that, and say that you could do better than God. But I'm saying, like, hey, just, feel free, use your imagination. And I think anybody can kind of say, well, I would do this or I would do that, and that's kind of what that is. And like what you just said is pretty accurate about, it's like just taking the predator out of people,
Yeah. To back up for some of the readers again and some of the people that aren't familiar, because we're kind of having an in-depth conversation, but people don't know the album well enough yet, which they should get to know it as soon as possible. We're talking about a narrator who is in South Korea, curator at a museum, and gets a hold of, I guess, a parchment, this artifact that has special powers and also special responsibilities. And On Mission is the story of this narrator and what he does and where he goes. Now, when he travels obviously physically, but by the end of it, is everything he's doing mental?
Yeah, it seems like it. It's kind of like, I don't know exactly what the means are. It's like, it's either mental or like astral or just some psychic thing. It's like whether it's interdimensional. I mean, he doesn't really know what it is. All he knows is that it seems real. And, he's getting transported to a different place. And that's really all that's important. The means or method is kind of unknown.
Okay. Is it when it seems like he starts to get weaker physically as he gets stronger spiritually. Is that true?
Yeah, exactly. He's like, it's kind of like two different slopes, one going up and one coming down, and they kind of intersect in that sweet spot. And you know how the story turns out. I guess I won't spoil it for anybody.
Yeah, I don't.
But it's a little bit of a surprise, right?
Yeah. And I like that. That's one of the best things that I think about concept albums is if you really, really enjoy it, and that's why I said when I wrote the review is I know not everyone has time to sit down and listen to an album for an hour straight every time. I get that. I don't either. We all have busy lives. But, instead of having, watching another rerun of Law and Order or something for an hour, dedicate an hour to this album and read the story, because the story, and when someone buys the album, do they get the narrative with it?
Yeah, there's a deluxe package where the story it's basically like almost looks like a small book, and so it's like a 36-page booklet. It's got all the lyrics, illustrations for each story, and the story part, and it's all kind of like themed where there's like a symbol for each of the 12 places he visits in each of the 12 songs. And with the symbol, it kind of codes up with which part of the story you are and which lyric you're listening to, and which illustration. And so it's kind of multimedia presentation.
Yeah, that's why it's so cool. It's such a, like I say, you have to invest time into it. But I've got a feeling that this is, to me at least, this album is going to be a lot like what Mindcrime did for me many years ago, where here it's been, I don't know, 20, 25 years, whatever it's been, and I still think about it, and I still don't totally understand it, and it just boggles my mind, and I can't get enough of it. And I feel like Omniscient is like that, where you could know pieces of it at a time, and over time, though, you're going to kind of understand it more and more and more. And I saw, the video for Tree of Knowledge, and it seems like you're dropping hints there throughout about what the story's about. And that's just, man, that is so much fun as a fan to try to, because you tell the story, but yet we got to figure it out for ourselves. And that's kind of a
that's the thing. It's kind of like it's got a little bit of mystery to it. And the thing is, like, I think everybody is going to interpret it just a little bit different based on their own experiences and, what they think in life. And that's basically what I'm hoping. Everybody kind of, like, comes away with something, like, not necessarily to understand what I meant, but to decide what it means to them, and like, because there's a lot of different points and stuff, and you might not agree with the point that I made and maybe the position I took on some of these points, but if you think about it and you come away with something and you decide where you stand on some of these issues or points, then I think that's what's cool about it.
Absolutely. Like I said, there's so many things that it just, I know over time this is even going to grow more on people when they hear it. Let's talk a little bit musically for a second. When you have the song Tree of Knowledge and it precedes 666 Heavy Metal Blues, that dynamic is kind of neat because they're such different songs.
Yeah.
Which of the songs, which one would you say is more indicative of the album? Or are they both just different parts of the story?
Yeah, it's like almost every song on this album is pretty unique from any other song on the album. It's not like like AC/DC will put out an album, and they'll have 10 like hard rockers that, each song pretty much does the same thing as the last song did. The style is fairly the same, and the vibe and the energy is pretty much, the same or equal throughout an album. And that's a great way to do it, but this is more like each song is like just so unique. It's like each one is kind of like might show off like a different like tempo, format, different style, almost like a different genre of heavy metal, to where, you might have one song that's kind of like thrash, one is like melodic power metal, one is, like speed metal, and, like one is like a progressive rock song, something like that. So the songs are all so different from each other. It's hard to say, well, this is like more representative of the album, because really there aren't two songs that are super alike on the album, so it's hard to say. I mean, I like both those songs a lot. It's like they're kind of favorites of mine, but they're nothing like each other.
When you get to the end of the album, the first 12 songs, that's the story, right? That's Omniscient. And then there's two extra songs. That's how I took it. Is that the way it was intended?
Yeah, that's what we call the last two songs, the bonus tracks.
Okay, yeah. And one of the bonus tracks you cover Queen. And, boy, what an incredible cover. Because I don't know. It's neat to hear covers where you know what the song, the original was. You don't have to search for it, but yet the band has done it their own way. It's not just, I don't want to hear someone try to replicate every single note every single way. Now, was that your guys' approach? Let's just do it our way?
Well, I mean, our approach on that song was to not fuck it up too bad. like, you shouldn't do this song, man. This song is too iconic. It's too immortal. It's just like, you guys should pick a different song. If you want to do a Queen song, do a different one. But don't do Bohemian Rhapsody because you guys are just asking for trouble, you know? I was just like, no, I'm going to do this song. And, you know, I just don't want to mess it up. I don't want to shame myself, you know? And that was the whole thing. It's like, cause even guys in the band were kind of like, you know, Rick was like, I don't know, Steve. I don't think we should do it. And I was like, come on, dude. It's like, you know, it's like Freddie Mercury is your idol, man. This is, you know, your chance to, like, you know, tribute Freddie, you know, and so, you know, we did it, and you know, I think it came out good. I don't think we shamed ourselves.
Oh, I don't think you did at all. I think it was done respectfully, artfully, and it's not a mirror replica of it, and I didn't want it to be. I think you can rest assured that it's got your guys' flavor to it, but it's definitely respectful to the artist for sure. So I think you should. I'm glad you did it. I think most fans will be glad you did it.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
So with this type of album, how hard is it to pull this off live? Do you just take songs from it, or I know Queensryche a couple times had done Mindcrime all the way through, but not always. How easy is it? Is it hard to translate this type of album to the stage?
Yeah, I think, especially with a band that's been around as long as ours, it's like this is our 10th album now, and we have to play like a song or two from pretty much every album, and you know, it's like our fans just are not gonna appreciate it if we just go out there and we just play this one album where we didn't do any of the old songs. But you know, we don't really have time to do a huge chunk of any album, to be honest. You know, you get like an hour to play, or maybe an hour and a half. You know, you have to pick the best stuff from all the different eras. So unless it became something like where people really wanted this album to be played in its entirety, and then, you know, like it got like a lot of support for something like that, then we would do that. But you know, I have a feeling we'll just be playing like a couple songs, you know, two, maybe three songs at the most from that album when we go out and tour again. Okay.
And are those plans set? Are you planning them right now, the tour?
You know, we're kind of like planning for some stuff. Like right now, we've got a release party that's going on, and that's our immediate plan. And then we're just like seeing what's going to come up like later this year, and probably more importantly, festival season over in Europe next year.
Okay, very good. Yeah, I'm hoping, of course, you come to my neck of the woods, which would be like Chicago, Madison, or Milwaukee. But we'll hope that happens. You've had a lot of success in Germany. Is that true?
Yeah. It's like all our record deals have previously been from Germany, and we've done a lot of touring there. We've been over there quite a number of times and done some lengthy tours. We've opened for Gamma Ray and Ed Guy. And we've just played like some of the big festivals, like the Rockin' Festival, the Bang Your Head Festival, Sword Brothers, and Keep It True. So we've been really well received in Germany. That's like I would say Germany is the one country that like really appreciates Steel Prophet.
Oh, that's got to be gratifying. It's a beautiful country, isn't it?
It is. It's awesome, man. It's so pretty. You know, most of it is just like there's lots of like open spaces. There's lots of woods. It's a nice place. Some of the architecture even is so old and really interesting. It's a great country to go to.
Yeah, my wife and I had a chance to spend a couple days there last year, but we didn't get much time in Bavaria, so we'd like to go back. Of course, everyone wants to go to Oktoberfest. How about playing Oktoberfest? Would you want to do that?
Sure, why not?
Of course. Excellent. Well, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. Is there anything you'd like to say before we wrap it up here?
No, man. I mean, it's a great interview, Scott. A lot of good, interesting questions, and you know, I'm very happy to talk to you. I appreciate how much time you've taken to understand the concept and the music on the album, and I just think that's fantastic. If everybody does that, then it's going to be a huge success.
Well, thank you. It's been my pleasure. Like I said, I've done this for a little while here, and it just it's blowing me away, and I just want to share that with everyone. I want everyone to have a chance to say, hey, at least experience it and then go from there, because there's too many things that that pass by and you just wish you would have maybe had a chance to grab at it. So that's what I say to everyone, and I'll say it one more time if you haven't heard Steel Prophet's Omniscient. Best album of the year so far in my book. So I'll let you go, Steve. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Scott.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
Bye now.